If you need assistance with your credit, text CREDIT to 702-778-2000. The Credit Show podcast with Harry Jacobs starts now.
I want to touch for a minute on bankruptcy. A lot of times people will call and they'll be in a situation and I'll push them that way. You know, in general, with debts, assume that whatever you owe, we can get settled for half of it for you. So once in a while, I'll get a phone call from someone who has like $9,000 or $10,000 or $12,000 in debt. And they'll say, well, I'm going to file bankruptcy. And I generally say, listen, I believe in bankruptcy. And if that's your only option, I get it. But $12,000 worth of debt's really only $6,000. And is that worth screwing your credit up for, for the 7 years that it's going to be on your credit report? Or for the 10 years it's going to be on your credit report? The common mistake is people think it'll be on there only 7. That's not the case. So is $6,000 worth screwing up your credit for that period of time? My response to that is generally no. Listen, if bankruptcy is what you need to do, it's one of those things. The most common question is, how soon will people stop calling me if I file bankruptcy? Well, your bankruptcy attorney files for you, and then there's what's called a stay put in place. And a stay is an automatic legal injunction which takes effect when a person or a business files for bankruptcy. It's designed to provide debtors with a bit of temporary relief while this process goes on and everything gets discharged in the bankruptcy. All collection efforts must cease. Now, there are some exceptions. I'll get to that in a minute. But the stay is initiated as soon as a debtor files bankruptcy, as soon as you file bankruptcy. And it immediately halts just about everything. Any phone calls, any letters, any lawsuits, any wage garnishments, property seizures, anything like that stops. It's called a stay for a reason. Stay away. Stop. It's intended to give us a little bit of breathing room to reorganize everything, whether you're doing a 13 or a 7 or an 11. But it tells people stop and stay, let us get this together and go through the court system. So there are exceptions to the automatic stay. Now, you can still be pursued in certain types of claims, child support and alimony and taxes and all that. By the way, creditors can request that the court lift the stay in certain circumstances, like if you're not making your mortgage payment or if the property isn't adequately insured. Overall, the stay is a crucial aspect of that process of bankruptcy, if you need bankruptcy. Again, my point was to talk about when it's worth it and when it's not worth it to do it. How $12,000 in debt is not really $12,000 in debt. It's about half of that. That's my point there. But if you need the help, you need some opinion, you want to know what to do, you can pick up the phone and you can call. And I will happily provide you with the information that you need to make the right decision for yourself.
You've been listening to the Credit Show podcast with Harry Jacobs. If you need assistance with your credit, text CREDIT to 702-778-2000.